A notice of lawsuit against Jehovah's Witnesses, Norway branch. We hereby announce that Anita Sandbakk intends to file a lawsuit against Jehovah's Witnesses, specifically the branch that represents Norway. I, Johnny Sandbakk, will be one of several people on her team. We are not suing the Watchtower, which is the owner of this organization. Due to their location in the USA, we find it more appropriate to file a case against their sub-branch in the country where we live. We therefore wish to sue the Norwegian sector at the branch office in Denmark, represented by Jorgen Petersen. If we get this case to the district court in Norway, we wish to share all case documents with our like-minded friends in other democratic countries where Jehovah's Witnesses are located, so that they can repeat this process in their country or area. We know that on a global basis, there are hundreds of thousands of other Jehovah's Witnesses and ex-Jehovah's Witnesses who want the governing body and the Watchtower to be held accountable for what they have done and continue to do. There are very few private individuals who have the capacity to do this, due to various circumstances and life situations. We believe that we have the capacity for this, as we have already built up a case protocol with good and comprehensive documentation and evidence. We wish to do this for several reasons. We can mention the three most important reasons in order of priority. The Supreme Court case coming up in Norway in February 2026 can, at best, only resolve what Jehovah's Witnesses are suing the state of Norway for. They may lose their registration for good and lose state support, but the psychological and physical ostracism, called shunning, will not change significantly. Therefore, the upcoming Supreme Court case is a delay and a postponement of solving the challenge surrounding fundamental breaches of human rights within the organization. The second point is, Anita has 4 children and 6 grandchildren in there, with whom she has no contact, despite the fact that for 10 years she had very close and confidential contact with all of them. They are all active Jehovah's Witnesses. All contact was broken the day she left the organization 2 years ago. Had Anita compromised her convictions and returned to the organization, she would have trampled on her own self-respect. Nothing would have been the same, and Anita would have been playing a game. She cannot do that, and it would be selfish to be satisfied with that when she sees that hundreds of thousands still cannot without suffering great losses. The third point is, we have all learned that Babylon the Great, that is, other organized religions, will soon be removed and burned. To submit to it again, that is, a system we know will be removed and annihilated, would be like receiving a death sentence all over again. In other words, to go back into the organization. The only thing she can do is fight to get her children and her minor grandchildren out. And she wants to be a spokesperson for everyone who wants to leave this organization, and for all the excluded and disassociated who feel violated, but who have no one to plead their case. We ourselves believe we have good and compelling reasons to sue the leadership of our religious community. But what is our intention? Is it to demand millions of dollars from them? Demanding compensation from someone who has tricked us is difficult when we ourselves have personally made what we previously believed was an informed choice. At a convention, in front of many witnesses, we said a loud and clear yes to becoming members of Jehovah's Witnesses. We were ourselves mature, competent adults who, without realizing it, said yes to being deceived. We are therefore not demanding money in this potential lawsuit. It would also take the focus away from the goal of what we are doing, because this is not about money, it is about something much more important. We believe that the leadership of Jehovah's Witnesses, those who call themselves the governing body, in cooperation with the Watchtower, are violating legal principles in Norwegian law. They set the stage for psychological and mental violence to be carried out, which can lead to self-inflicted harm that can result in death. We will therefore sue their representatives in our country for the following. 1. Mental and psychological violence. 2. Deprivation of liberty. 3. Concealment and secrecy surrounding sexual abuse. 4. Causing involuntary deaths. The result of this practice, for some sensitive individuals who cannot handle this strain, is destroyed family relationships and, in the most extreme cases, suicide. We believe we have studied the legal framework thoroughly enough to file this lawsuit, knowing that laws and statutes can be applied to this harmful practice in our country, Norway. We have sufficient documentation from the Watchtower's own literature in the form of writings, videos, and images. We have also obtained witness statements from former Jehovah's Witnesses and disfellowshipped individuals. We have also obtained witness statements from active and passive members of Jehovah's Witnesses who wish to come forward in court. These are individuals who wish to leave. In the aftermath of this potential upcoming lawsuit, how can you help? We need more witness statements from individuals who have experienced circumstances that cover the following points we wish to shed more light on in court. Individuals who have experienced severe shunning, which has resulted in reduced performance and ability to work, and has caused various health problems, requiring medical treatment and psychological diagnoses, for example, post-traumatic stress disorder. We are looking for individuals who have been subjected to sexual abuse. Their mental health may have been damaged, and as a result, they may have also lost their ability to work and their income. They may have taken legal action against Jehovah's Witnesses themselves, but lost in the district court and are now in debt to the Watchtower's lawyers, who want their expenses covered. The last group is individuals who have lost an immediate family member due to the blood doctrine of Jehovah's Witnesses. These may be individuals who suffer trauma because of this, and who experience a decline in mental and physical health, which in turn leads to a reduced ability to work and a loss of income. If you are a person who wishes to provide a witness statement, but are unable to appear physically in court, it is possible to do so from home via video conference or by sending a pre-recorded video to the court. This will be played as needed. It is important that you can document what you say. We hope to receive a number of inquiries and wish to use the most prominent cases, where there are clear breaches of rules regarding the elders' handling of your case. There is only one reason why this case is not being sent for consideration for a possible case in the Court of Appeal. That is our personal finances. Long-term illness means we are both on disability benefits. We own nothing and have nothing to live on other than our fixed payment related to disability benefits. In principle, many would see us as poor in Norway, and that is perfectly fine. But we therefore have no way of carrying this out without outside help. We are just over the limit to receive free legal aid. When deciding whether we are entitled to free legal aid, the bailiff uses our total income, even though it is only Anita Sandbakk who is filing this lawsuit. Therefore, this becomes impossible for us to do alone. But we see this as a very important case that will have positive ripple effects for everyone. Everyone who shares our viewpoints. We are therefore appealing to all Jehovah's Witnesses and former Jehovah's Witnesses who would like to help by contributing a small sum. We are going to set up a visually transparent open account that will be used exclusively for this purpose and to pay the legal costs to our lawyer. We are currently in contact with 2 different law firms. If we lose this case, we will appeal to a higher court regardless. We are not worried about a possible monetary claim from the Watchtower at a later point in time. We are seeking contributions only from Norwegian Jehovah's Witnesses or former members of Jehovah's Witnesses, not from foreign sources. We want former members to have full access to our case documents and thereby do the same in their own country or region. All such situations mentioned above are consistent with our case, as the shunning policy is the same, regardless of which democratic country they live in. In principle, it is therefore easy to replicate this case in many other countries. In conclusion, your contribution will therefore be of great value, whether it is a specific witness statement from you or a voluntary contribution. This will not just be our case, meaning Anita's or Johnny's case. Instead, we will represent you. You are likely a disfellowshipped or disassociated member. Or perhaps you are still an active or passive member who wants to get out of this, but you don't know how to do it. Everyone who contacts us can therefore be part of a large puzzle that will expose both the governing body and those who own Jehovah's Witnesses. The Watchtower, in a possible lawsuit. It will be of significantly greater value than the upcoming Supreme Court case in February 2026, which in practice cannot change the shunning policy. Some former members we have spoken with say that they will close their eyes and hope for the best. Thinking like that only helps the Watchtower. Not us, not you and me. Take note of that. We have a case ready, and we definitely do not want to sit and wait for someone else to take on this job. We have the resources for it. We only need your support. Therefore, contact us by email or phone, and we will contact you. All contact between us will be handled confidentially in accordance with privacy regulations. Finally, share this video with everyone you know who will benefit from exposing what is happening within our organization. Feel free to send it to local politicians where you live and others who may have an interest in this matter. Thank you for your attention.